Hello, welcome to Turn Back Time. I'm Sarah Ewan, day 19. Well, my weight is still falling. I checked with trepidation after my 3-day hiatus, but almost another half a pound has gone overnight. And I'm convinced it's the water and sleep, both of which I've been appalling with for years. You need so much water to flush out any excess sugars and toxins through the liver. So I'm pretty much swooshing in it right now. I suppose the very fact that one is not stacking up on carbs and is only eating what's immediately needed and eating again when it runs out provides for an immediate descent. Because, as I mentioned before, for every gram of carbs stored in your body, you carry 3 grams extra of water. If there's nothing in the carb storage, you don't carry the water. In the imperial system, there are 28 grams in an ounce. So if you have 28 grams of carbs stored in your body as glycogen, that's 1 ounce, you'll be carrying another 3 ounces or nearly 100 grams of water. And the body can store 450 grams of glycogen. So if you're at max, and anyone who is pre-diabetic is, you're carrying close to 2 kilos or 4.4 pounds in nothing but energy storage. Also, while there's glycogen stored up, no need to touch that fat. Nothing moves. So it really is essential that not only do you not exceed the carb storage, but you don't fill it at all. But what about Armageddon, you might say? I used to laugh as I was getting bigger and say I was chubbing up for Armageddon. Well, as great as my weight loss is now, there is still plenty of fat in the fat stores to take me for months, I reckon. And remember, your body will always carry some fat. In a healthy woman, it'll be around 23% of all body weight. So you'll always have something to fall back on. Most people think that carbs are our best source of energy overall. But this is actually not true. The body's preferred fuel for many parts of us is fat. It also has a far higher energy quotient. 1 gram of fat has 37 kilojoules of energy, whereas 1 gram of carbohydrate gives only 17 kilojoules. For those of you rationing your alcohol around your blocks, you'll be amused to learn that alcohol gives far more kilojoules than normal carbs, 29 kilojoules in a gram of alcohol. And this is why heavy drinkers don't necessarily feel the need to eat much. It doesn't mean it's healthy, of course, but this blows up the myth that carbs are the body's only fuel for energy. It also wants fat. If fat is so packed with energy, then why do we bother with carbs at all, you might ask? Well, because fruit and vegetables are packed with minerals and vitamins too. Also, the brain is a glucose hog. It prefers glucose to function. The muscles also use glucose, but they also need energy from fat and amino acids, so protein as well. The liver uses fatty acid oxidation for energy. And this makes the whole insulin, fat, eat more cycle easily understandable. Excess sugar, over and above the glycogen storage capacity, is mopped up out of the blood by insulin and then converted to fat. We know that now, but what it is really doing, the method in its madness, is taking that sugar, that energy, and converting it to lipids and putting it in the adipose fat tissue around you. And then lipids can be turned back into fatty acids to send energy into your bloodstream. So that fat is still a storage facility of carbs for the body. It's not just chucking the fat there and leaving it there for no reason. It's keeping something useful. The problem is, if you eat carbs every 4 hours, the body never gets to use the stored stuff. That fat is the last resort, basically. But until the supermarkets are empty, you may never get to it. The brain also can't run on it, according to scientists. The brain has fat in it for structural support and insulation, but it doesn't use it for energy. It can run on ketones if at any point you're critically short of carbs and therefore glucose. Your liver will make ketones from fatty acids, and that can run the brain. It's a survival mechanism. Studies seem to show that ketones can provide 60% of what the brain needs. And followers of a ketogenic diet laud it as far better for the brain. But I was left wondering about the missing 40%. And if you go down the rabbit hole following study after study, they all say something different and are probably influenced by the person who paid for the study. So you always have to be careful of that. I think I prefer to give the brain what it needs primarily, which is glucose. I was looking up how many carbohydrates, so how much glucose the powers that be believe the body needs each day. And they say 130 grams. Each carb block is 9 grams. So they're not far off, because that is 14 blocks on a zone diet. But they say all adults need that, which those who are sedentary or petite certainly don't. And you need more if you're exercising, they say. And they also add the rider at least, so it makes it seem as if we have carte blanche to eat a lot more carbs. And their idea of carbs mainly focuses on wheat, but it's in a ballpark if you know what you're doing with this diet, which you do now. I've mentioned the dangers of aging when it comes to carb intake. The sugar destroys the collagen in your skin, which gives you that lovely smooth complexion normally. So if you imagine if you're taking a collagen supplement to try to get rid of your wrinkles, or you're smoothing an anti-wrinkle cream on your face each night, what you're actually doing, if you're still eating sugary treats, is cancelling one of the each out. So you can see the difference in someone's skin after just 1 week of no sugar. You don't need the collagen supplements. They look more vibrant. My whole face looks more vibrant than it did before. So just by staying away from those sugars and those refined sugars, that poison that really is poisoning our body, then your face and your complexion looks so much better. And you feel better. I feel so much better. Someone sat in front of me last night and ate a key lime pop, my favourite, and I had no inclination to have one at all. That's progress. See you tomorrow.